Alright guys, today for our craft we are going to do some different boy Fortnite themed canvases. I'm going to show you all the supplies that you need and then we're going to get right to it. And just remember, if you don't have a Cricut, you can make these lines anyway, and you can definitely use the new stencils that are at the Dollar Tree because they are really amazing. Let's get to it. First you will need 4 8x10 stretch canvases. I got these at the Dollar Tree, but you can get them anywhere. You'll need Mod Podge, black chalk paint, Waverly chalk paint. I use the color Mineral, but you can use any form of gray or any other color you want. Of course, you'll need your paint brushes. Doesn't matter the size, you're just going to paint the canvases. Last but not least, you'll need to print out of the controller that they have requested, and paint pens and permanent markers. Alright, make sure you shake up your paint pen really well, or permanent marker, whichever you use. And I'm just going to make sure that I color everything on here that's supposed to be black, and then I'm going to go back and color the buttons and the shapes the correct colors. Alright guys, after you finish painting or coloring the remote of the person's choice for the system that they want, go ahead and open up your canvases and start painting them. I'm going to do 2 black and 2 grayish brown minerals, like a grayish tin kind of color. And I'm going to paint the whole thing, even the sides, okay guys? Then we're going to Mod Podge it, and then we'll move from there. Alright guys, I am done with the black canvases and we're going to move on to painting in the gray chalk paint. Now, a couple of tips. I usually just pour the paint directly on the canvas because that way you can use a little bit and it stretches, because the canvas kind of is porous like a sponge, so it soaks it up really well and it can spread well. I also make sure that I get the edges really nice and matching the color of whatever I'm using on the main area of the canvas. Also, as far as paintbrushes, you want to make sure when you're using chalk paint that you soak them in water afterwards. The size and the kind of bristles really doesn't matter. I've used sponge paintbrushes and bristle ones, and they both work the same. You get the same amount of coverage. You just want to make sure that you soak it in some hot water right after you're finished done painting that particular color. Alright guys, so I just went on to Google and put Fortnite printable items, and it came up with a sheet of, I think this had 12 circles on there, and I just pick random 3, and I put 3 on one black canvas and 3 on another black. And I always try to get the Fortnite Battle Royale because that's usually what the kids are playing these days. Alright guys, after you've completely cut out the designs that you get from your Fortnite printout, I usually put those aside and start on the gray chalk paint. Remember, when you're painting with chalk paint, you want to make sure you completely cover your total surface and make sure that it's completely dry before you move on to the next step, which will be Mod Podging these printouts onto our canvases before we add our lettering. Alright guys, it is time now to cut out, for this order, the PS4 controller. So I've colored everything. Now I'm going to cut it out, then I'm going to cut it right down the middle to put it on the gray canvases. Alright, I'm going to cut this right down the middle and set them over to the side until the canvas is dry. We have moved over to the Cricut area. Remember, if you don't have a Cricut, you can definitely find some good lettering at the Dollar Tree, Walmart, or even order some things off any site that might work best for you. But what happens is I pick out a vinyl color and I line it up on the line right here. It says C line, that's cricket line. There's an S line, that's silhouette. We don't use that. We will line it up. We will push the letters in what we need, and we will let the blade do its work. Alright guys, after you have all your vinyl pieces picked out, you need to make sure that you have phrases picked out for all your canvases. I'm using Fortnite phrases, and one of them is called He's One Shot. I'm assuming it means that you can kill a player with one shot. I'm not quite sure. I asked my 14-year-old son, and he said that was a good phrase. Make sure your Cricut is on portrait mode because you get different size lettering. If you don't have it on portrait mode and you have it on fit to page, it's going to cut your letters this way. You definitely don't want that, not for this. So go ahead and push load paper. The needle has adjusted to portrait mode on this C line. And sometimes I like to bring it in just one or two little markings. And I'm going to start with the word he's. There's even the apostrophe on here, so make sure you get that too. I wait for the screen to tell me it's okay to print, which that is what it's telling me now. And I push print. Alright guys, so I accidentally put the letterings on the wrong sides. I forgot to size them. So I'm going to move them up from 1 inch to 1.5. And this is really cool if you do have a Cricut. You don't have to put the letters back in here. You can just put repeat last, press it, pops up on the screen. I'm going to push cut. Alright, I also, guys, went ahead and made a sizing chart, and I cut just the letter A out and labeled every size that it can be from 1/4 inch all the way up to 2 inches. I don't think I'll do anything bigger than 2 inches, but it does go up to, wow, it goes up to, obviously, I'm scrolling now, it's at 20, so guys, we can get huge letters on here. Alright, press unload paper when you're done printing out for that particular canvas. Pull your vinyl off and just put it to the side and start picking out the colors for your next canvas. Alright, I'm just making sure I've got enough white for all my lettering, and I'm gonna start cutting these other canvases out. Just printing out some more words, guys. I'm almost done, and then I'm going to show you how I put each letter on to every canvas. Alright, now I have finished 2 of these canvases, and look how nice and pretty they are. Guys, it's a lot of work. Now I'm going to show you how I get these canvases done. I have to place each letter on here one by one and try to get it on here as straight as possible. It's hard, but it's worth it to see the beautiful finish. I'm going to seal this very last canvas, and then I will show you what they all look like. I pre-Mod Podge the pictures on here, so that's why it's white here, clear, and white again. But this does all dry clear. And make sure you get that kind of Mod Podge if you're going to use them on the canvases. It's gloss, Mod Podge gloss. It dries clear. Guys, thank you for joining me today. I know it was a long video, but it was so worth it, guys. I hope you enjoy making these canvases along, or maybe making your own. If you do, please put them down in the comments. I love to see the things you create with me and the things you create without me. Please hit that bell notification and hit subscribe. See you back later. Bye, guys.